We're now on Taharot Perek Bet Mishnah Bet, second Mishnah in the second chapter of Masechet Taharot. So we learned that if you eat a quantity called achilat chatzi pras, pras remember is half a kikar. A kikar is either 6 or 8 kibetzim. So half of a kikar is a half of a pras is a quarter of a kikar, which is either a beitza umachza le Rambam, if you eat a quantity that's an egg quantity, a quantity of an egg and a half according to the Rambam, or shtei beitzim le Rashi, or 2 eggs according to Rashi. Zeu shiur ochlim, there's a quantity of food. Livsol et gvia, to passel, to negate or to disqualify. Gvia is your body. So if a person eats a certain amount of food, that then he himself is, if that's tamei, then he himself is considered tamei to be mitame other kinds of food. So how tamei are you? So it's machloket. Rabbi Eliezer Omer says, ochel rishon. If the food that you ate is a rishon the tuma, then meaning you eat, let's say 2 eggs worth of, you got a piece of cake, large piece of cake. The cake is tamei. The cake was touched by an av hatumah. Great, it's a rishon. You don't care. It's cake. So you're a rishon. Now you're walking around, I guess, for as long as like 24 hours or until the night. I don't remember how long, because it's a gzeirat chachamim. Chachamim were afraid that if you're not tamei, we're afraid that you might accidentally, while you're eating your tamei food, you take a shluk of truma, of truma juice or oil or what have you, and you're going to be mitame the truma. So we said, no, as long as you still digesting, I guess, I don't know how long the truma lasts. I think we said till the nighttime. Okay, until 6 hours. I don't remember how long. Okay, but if you eat that quantity of food, then you are that status of tuma. So says Rabbi Lezer, ochel rishon. If you eat a rishon, the tuma rishon. Ochel sheni. Remember, food can become tamei a sheni as well. If you eat it sheni food, you have a big piece of sheni cake. Sheni, then you're a tamei sheni. Ochel shlishi. If you eat the shlishi, then you're also shlishi. Meaning, what is shlishi? If you're a kohen, remember we learned the different kinds of tuma they are. So if you're a kohen and you eat truma, then you're a shlishi, and therefore if you touch kachim, that's bad, and therefore you can be mitame the kachim as well. Rabbi Yeshua says no. Ochel rishon ve'ochel sheni. Rabbi Yeshua says you don't become the food. You ate the rishon. So now if you become a sheni. But if you eat sheni, let's look at Bartuna for a second. Okay, he holds. Lo mashivina le ochel kemachal. They don't make the person like the food. Why? Okay, so it makes sense. You eat sheni, you become shlishi. You touch the sheni, you become shlishi. But the ochel sheni, if you ate sheni, you still become a sheni. Now the Bartanura explains, why do you become a sheni if you ate sheni? You should be a shlishi. So he says the following. Why? Hi demashve le ochel sheni velo shlishi. Why, if you ate sheni, are you now still a sheni? Because remember we had the rule of the liquid. If you have liquid that becomes tamei b'sheni, they become a rishon. Remember, if I'm a sheni and I touch liquid, they become a rishon. Whatever touches them is the sheni. So therefore, said Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yeshua, essentially he's like, listen, if I touched mashke sheni, then if I touched, mashke sheni, then I would become, if I'm a rishon, then whoever touched it become a sheni as well. So the same thing is true about the food. And therefore, the person shouldn't be less than mashke. Because the whole gzeira is maybe the whole decree is maybe you'll touch food when you're tamei, when you're eating tumah. Similarly, shlishi, if a person eats shlishi, so remember the same liquid rule. The liquid rule is that it makes it a rishon. And so if the liquid becomes a rishon, right? If a person who's tamei touches liquid is a rishon, so then you become a sheni again. So if you touch shlishi, then you're sheni la kodesh, velo sheni la truma. Because remember, shlishi is only for truma to make a revi'i, which is kachim. So it only works for kachim. It doesn't work for anything else. So therefore we said that if you eat food, if a kohen eats truma, that's a shlishi, which is pasul, you're not allowed to do that, or not just a kohen. Well, I guess a kohen is the only one who could eat it. Sheni la kodesh or lo sheni la truma. Then he becomes a sheni vis-a-vis kachim, but not vis-a-vis truma. Why? Because shlishi can only become mitame revi'i for kachim, not for truma. And the Mishnah says, B'chulim shena'asu l'tara truma. We're talking about a case here, not of eating truma, but it's talking about a case of shlishi, of chulin that was made al taharat truma, and therefore it has the possibility, it was made with the idea of becoming, of having the status of truma, and therefore it can have a shlishi applied to it as well. Because chulin, as we learned before, let's go back to our chart, regular food, chulin cannot become shlishi, it can only become a sheni. All right, we'll stop here. A little bit confusing. Do my best to explain it. We'll dedicate our learning to remember my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.